Hey guys, we just had a holiday weekend in the U.S. Monday was Labor Day, so we wanted to do a Q&A, and we're going to do that right now. And what had happened was our doctor appointments have kind of been smushed because of the shorter week, so I apologize. I want to get to everyone as fast as possible, and please keep the questions coming. I asked Rod to put a few together so he could ask me on the fly. I don't know what it is yet, so Rod, hit it.
Sure. This one's from Diane S. Can you please give a brief description of how a desire to lose weight spiraled out of control?
Diane, that's a great question, and you're right. It was just, I started off with just losing a little bit of weight, but I think what had happened was what was going on in my life at the time wasn't very good, and Rod didn't even know about it because I was ashamed and embarrassed, and those kind of things that, for me, I didn't even want to open that Pandora's box. Whatever was happening to me, I just would close the door on it and try to put it away. But I hate to say, the abuse caught up with me, and I just kept recreating it, feeling like I should be abused. It's that mentality, and it's unfortunate, and I'm not proud of it, but it's a reality of life, that victim mentality, and I felt I've really overcome that quite a bit, so it's still a work in progress.
She was also asking.
I like that. Also asking.
Was there a feeling of inadequacy all along, and the diet got out of control due to
This
that?
is Diane still,
Yes.
right? Yes, absolutely. It was a complete feeling of inadequacy, insecurities as well, and because I had some attention on my physical body, I didn't want attention like that anymore. I guess subconsciously it kind of played out that way, and I used food as a way to hurt myself in a sense, I guess. Does that help?
Mm-hmm.
So keep asking these questions. These are great.
Okay, next one from Sinister Sister. Could you make a video responding to all of the concerns about not having an NG tube?
Oh, okay. Sinister Sisters. Sorry, I'm getting tongue-tied. Sinister Sisters. The reason I don't have any tubes anymore is because I'm at a high risk of infection, and so they only wanted to go through the veins at the time, and because I have had so much scar tissue, they couldn't push past it. So, and I've had a tube down my throat. I was bleeding out. I've had a tube. I'm trying to remember all the tubes I've had, but they've tried pretty much everything. I've even had one here, and you can imagine how fun that was. But the reason it's so critical right now, and that even with the PICC line they were hesitant, is because even with the thrush, I'm always at risk of infection for things being so emaciated. But over time, that will get better, So I hope that answers the question.
She also asks about being an inpatient. Why aren't you an inpatient?
Oh, I'll wait for the sound. That's a good question too. The reason I'm not inpatient there's multiple reasons. One is there was actually a facility located near where we are, and we tried to put me in it initially, and apparently I don't meet their weight minimum. And this is the answer I got: gain some weight and then come back. And I'm like, well, if that would be great if I could. Once I get to that point, I hopefully won't need as much help. But also, I have been in treatment before, and there have been times where you would think in Southern California there would be oodles at the time, but there were a few places and I had gone to, and they had one method of doing it, and I had done it. I was good in treatment, and then I would get back to, over time, doing the same thing, and that's really my fault because I wasn't fixing the problem, which was within. And so now, I mean, even hospitals, we've been, they tell you have to have an organ failing or something wrong. And right now nothing's failing. Woohoo! I'm not complaining about it, but that's another reason. So over time there's been it kind of snowballed, one reason after another. They can't do this and they can't. So rather than wait, rather than wait for treatment and recovery, I want it now. I need to start now. There's no time to wait, because then it will just fester even more.
Sinister Sisters also.
I like Alsco.
Alsco, what was he? Alsco.
I like it. Alsco asking.
Sinister Sister is also asking about if you have a fentanyl addiction.
Oh, I don't have any addictions, to be honest. What happens is when your body is like this is something I didn't even know until it happened. When you don't have body fat, that's what transports medication and nutrients, right? And if you don't have body fat, then your body will put on water, and I don't have either of those. So I don't, even if I take if I took a medication, let's imagine I'm trying to sleep or something, and I try to take a medication to sleep or anything, it doesn't have that effect because I can't absorb it. So
you don't have a high sensation?
Yeah, this is another thing I don't know if people know. I don't even get a sense of euphoria from anything. I'm trying to think of if there is anything.
Food.
Because my hormones are so flat. Even food, it doesn't make me feel good. Even the taste, I don't get that same reward mechanism. And it's, again, the same problem. Because of the malnourishment, apparently your taste buds wear as well. So these are very good questions, because I wouldn't have known them either had I not have gone through it. So to answer your question of any addiction, no, there's no addiction to anything, to be honest.
Do you have an addiction to pain?
Well, you know what? The one addiction I did have big time was to pain. And I know that there's a lot of dual diagnoses out there, like not only was it anorexia and exercise bulimia and OCD. You see, I had multiple components. Some people have it as well. It could be anorexia or bulimia or whatever, or binging or whatever, and then they might have an alcohol or drug problem as well as maybe something else, and that's also a self-medication. For me, I didn't like pleasure, so I actually would under-medicate and want to feel pain. So for me, I would pick, I was a skin picker, and I've done other things, but the addiction I had was especially to pain. I felt so uncomfortable with pleasure, and I think that everybody comes to this disease for different reasons, and some are the same, but for me, this was my reason, was I just had to hurt myself. It's weird, I know, but that's really the answer.
And I believe that's it for today.
Oh, well, keep them coming, guys. I wish I had more exciting news, which we will hopefully shortly, so keep questions coming, and we will keep you updated as things progress. And we have an interview coming out that will hopefully provide more education and awareness, because this isn't like always say this is not a glamorizing disease. There's no payoff to this thing. So I want to really drive that home. So stay clutch with me and my scabby nails. Stay clutch, guys.